Hello everybody out there in the YouTube land. Today we're going to learn a prediction trick that feels random, like there was no setup, like you just predicted every step of the way. The awesome part about this is we're going to use common phrases that you get asked all the time. If you've been performing for any amount of time, you will know there are common questions that you always get asked. How did you do that? How long have you been performing magic? Have you ever heard of that show, Penn and Teller? Have you ever thought of going on America's Got Talent? Do you know what the Magic Castle is? You know the questions that I'm talking about. We're gonna use that and we're gonna make it into a mind-blowing trick. So here's how the trick is gonna look to your audience. They're gonna say one of those questions, like, how long have you been performing magic? You then give them an envelope with that exact phrase on it. And you say, don't open it yet. It won't make any sense to you. Instead, put it in your pocket or put it on the table where you can see it. And take out your phone, go to your calculator, type in any three numbers, and just hit minus any three numbers. Now remember that number in your head. Take this deck of cards and just deal down however many numbers you have in your head, whatever number that is. And they're gonna deal down and they're gonna find a card. However many numbers it was, they're gonna find a card. Once they do that, you say, oh, that's interesting. I knew you'd get that. And then tell them to take out the envelope again, open it, and they're gonna find that their prediction exactly matches the card that you dealt to. And there will be nothing to find in the deck. It's not stacked, nothing like that. And as a kicker, you have put the answer to the question on the back of your prediction, which in my case is 15 years. Now, from your audience's perspective, it's gonna feel like this was off the cuff. Keep in mind, when people ask you these questions, they think they're asking you an original question, like you haven't been asked this before. At least most people do. So they'll have one of two reactions. They'll either, one, when you pull out this envelope and you show it to them right after they ask you this question, they're gonna realize that, one, everybody asks this question, and this is kind of just funny. Or they're gonna think, he predicted what I said. Depending on what your phrase is, it can feel much more random to people. In my case, I'll just give you the generic, how long have you been performing magic? Because it's probably the one that most of you are used to. Now, there are subtleties to this trick, and if you don't do them, it will be obvious to your spectator. So make sure you watch the whole video so I can explain to you those subtleties. So let's say I just got done performing, now there's kind of a moment of silence, and they feel awkward because a lot of people do not like silent moments. Instead, they ask you a question, and they go, how long have you been performing magic? And you go, shaboom! You hand that to them, you ask them to put it in a pocket or wherever. You take out a deck of cards and you say, look, this will be important in a moment, but not yet. Can you do me a favor and take out your calculator? And just want to keep my hands here. I'm not touching anything. I'm not doing anything. When they take out their calculator, they're going to do it towards themselves. If you have a calculator and you're not watching this on your phone, please take out your phone and follow along because it will make more sense. Let me come up to the camera real close so we can do this together. Keep in mind, I'm going to show you my calculator, but normally you would not see this as Magic Boy. So this would all be done in secret, and it would be only in their head. They wouldn't say any of the numbers out loud that are about to happen. But if you can, take out your calculator, and I will explain the process of this trick, because it's a little involved. The first thing you ask them is, I want you to hit any three numbers on the calculator. Just make sure that they're all different, and don't use 0, because we want this as random as possible. So let's just say, I do 6, 5, 8. Now you say, hit the minus. Again, you don't know this. Just say, hit the minus, and whatever digits you typed in, let's say it's 1, 2, 3, hit minus and do 3, 2, 1. You have to give them this example because this can be a little confusing. It's the only confusing step for people. So in this case, we're going to do minus 8, 5, 6. And then you hit equals. Now I ask them, I know you're looking at a new number. Are you looking at a 2-digit number or a 3-digit number? The secret is they're always going to be looking at a 3-digit number. But when you ask them this question, it throws them off. But this implies in their head it could have been a 2-digit number. It's a psychological subtlety. Most people don't think you're going to ask a useless question. This is a useless question to you because you already know everything. But from their perspective, it might have been important to the trick. And now they think, well, it could have been either. If it's since it's a 3-digit number, we need something smaller, so just add those digits up in your head. So 1 plus 9 plus 8, it's 18. And if you've been following along, you also have 18. The secret is, it's always 18. We're going to ask them questions like it could have been something different. It's all psychological, but it really does work. Now, once they add it up in their head, you're going to ask them, I think that you're thinking of either a 1-digit number or a 2-digit number now. Yes? And they're going to say yes. You're not asking them which it is. Again, it's kind of a useless question, but it implies that it could be a 1-digit number, even though it cannot. I'm going to ask them one last useless question. If it's a 2-digit number, your number's under 52, right? Because that's going to be important in a second. You ask them this, you know it's under 52, you know it's 18. But you ask them this because you want them to think it could have been bigger than 52, and now we got to do something else to get it lower than 52. Obviously, this doesn't happen because it can't happen, but it's a psychological subtlety. It makes them think it could have happened. If you haven't figured out how this works, in the envelope, I have placed a card on it, a prediction card, with on the back has the answer to the question of 15 years. And in this case, it's the 9 of clubs. At the same time, I put the 9 of clubs in the deck at the 18th position. So now when they count down 18 cards, and they can do it to themselves, or they can do it openly, like, oh, your number was 18, now we all know. But they can do it all the way down to 18. They turn over that card, and they see 9 of clubs. I then ask them to open the envelope. And obviously, I like to put the card in the envelope, so when they pull it out, they see what the... Why did I pick up the 4 of clubs? My bad. When they'll see the 9 of clubs first, and I don't want them to see the answer to their question right away. I want them to find this. So now they're going to see, they match, they'll do whatever reaction they have. Usually they freak out a little bit. But you want them to find this on their own. I don't know what it is, but when people find it on their own, they have like a different reaction. It's a really weird, like, what's this about? Wait, what, 15 years? And then they realize, oh, I asked you the question, how long you've been performing that 15 years. And it's like a little cherry on top that just makes the trick all come together. So look, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, you'll probably see more stuff coming.